Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I will continue teaching you chapter 7 volcanoes in geography, and I will continue from page 59. Before I start teaching you, I would like you all to open page 59 of your book, follow my explanation, listen to it and relate it with the pages and the topics taught and explained, and try to understand well. I will start from page 59 with the topic type of volcanic landforms. The first one is extrusive landforms of volcanoes. Extrusive landforms are formed when magma reaches the surface of the earth and solidification of lava takes place to form different landforms. So when the magma from inside the earth's surface reaches the surface, and then solidification takes place and different landforms are formed. The first one is the cinder cone. The cinders are pyroclastic fragments of gas-charged lava that is blown into the air during an eruption. So, pyroclastic, this particular word meaning you will find in glossary. Clouds of ash, gas, vapors and then fragments of lava comes out, gets erupted and blown into the air when this volcanic eruption takes place. And this volcanic ash accumulates around the vent, and they are steep conical hills of these pyroclastic fragments that accumulates around the volcanic vent. The most common type of volcanic cone is this cinder cone, and you will find this in Hawaii, Mauna Kea, Mauna Loa. These are important cinder cones that you will find. Now I would like to show you an illustration of the formation of cinder cones, how they are formed. I will show you a video on cinder cones. See how it takes place. See the cloud of ashes get blown into the air when eruption takes place. I hope you can watch the video that is going. Clouds of ashes fragments go up, blow into the air when the eruption takes place, and the lava gets solidified, form steep-sided cones around. The vent. So this is how cinder cones are formed. Next, let us read about composite cones. Composite cones are also called composite volcanoes or stratovolcanoes. They generally have a conduit through which the magma reaches the surface of the earth. Now, through a central vent, this magma from inside the earth's surface comes out. Volcanic ash, lava, blocks of rock fragments come out when the eruption takes place, and they are found in alternate layers. They are typical symmetrical cones with steep sides. The two sides are very steep. The composite cones are characterized by a crater at the summit. It has a long central vein or a pipe through which the lava comes out, flows out through the crater walls, through the fissures. That means there are some fissures, cracks alongside, and the lava often solidifies within the fissures and therefore form dikes. That is, vertically the magma get solidified. This makes the cone very strong. You will find this type of composite volcanoes in Mount Fuji in Japan, Mount Cotopaxi in Ecuador, Mount Shasta in California, Mount Hood in Oregon. So these are the few examples. Then I would like to show you a video where you will find the occurrence of this composite cones. You will get to see how layers get deposited. See how the magma is rising, that yellow color, and sidewise along the side through fissures some magma will be solidified and will result in the formation of dikes and sills inside. This is how composite volcano takes place. Example, you can see Mount Fuji. Now let's read about the lava shields. Lava shields or shield volcanoes are composed of fluid lava because they are basic in character. On page 58, you see on top where the heading basic lava is given, there it is written that basic lava is poor in silica content and therefore extremely fluid in nature, and it can flow for a long distance. As it can flow for a long distance because of its less viscosity, less thickness of the lava, therefore it get accumulated around broad sheets, broad places, and therefore shields are formed with gentle slopes. Mauna Loa on the Big Island of Hawaii is the largest example of shield volcano. Before moving to the next one, I would like to show you a demonstration of the shield volcano, how it takes place. See, the fissures arises sidewise and the lava gets spreaded. Therefore, shields are formed. Now let us turn to next page, that is page 60 of your book. There you have the volcanic domes. These volcanic domes are roughly dome-shaped or circular. The lava ejected is acidic, and therefore this acidic lava is highly viscous. It cannot flow for a long distance. Instead, it gets accumulated and solidifies near the vent of the volcano. Through the opening, through the vent through which the magma comes out, around that crater only, the mouth of the vent is crater, and along that crater or around that crater only the lava gets solidified, accumulated, and so the volcano assumes a steep side. The height may reach to several hundreds of meters over the months and years. The sides are generally made up of unstable rock debris. Solidification also plugs the vent, which may explode during a violent eruption. So if ever any violent eruption takes place, then it explodes. Example of lava domes are Mount Helena lava dome and Chilahuita lava dome. Then you have the caldera. During a violent eruption, sometimes large volume of magma erupts. This led to partial emptying of the magma chamber. That means due to this large eruption, the magma chamber gets emptied, and due to this, structural support of the crust becomes unstable. Inside the surface of the earth, this magma chamber gets partially emptied. So the support becomes unstable and the ground surface collapses inward towards the partially emptied chamber to form a massive hollow or depression, which is called the caldera. And this caldera later turns into crater lake. You will see the examples: Oregon, Mount St. Helena caldera, La Garita caldera in Colorado, and Yellowstone caldera in Wyoming. So, as the magma eruption takes place with great force, it results in partial emptying of the magma chamber inside the earth, and therefore the structural support gets disbalanced, unstable, and therefore the ground collapses. Now I would like to show you how this take place, a video how this caldera volcanoes are formed. You will be able to see how a depression takes place. It collapses under its own pressure. Violently this eruption takes place. The magma migrates up. As a result, the decreased pressure, the gases in the magma expand rapidly, creating massive volcanic explosions. So see how there is a depression and how the lake is formed. See, there is a basin-like construction, depression, which later gets transformed into a crater lake or a caldera lake. It collapses under its own pressure. And later on, due to precipitation or due to the accumulation of glaciers, when the glaciers melt and water get accumulated, this is how a caldera lake is formed. Then you have the volcanic plateau. Volcanic plateaus are formed by basaltic lava, so they are less viscous, more fluid in nature. And here, in this case, eruptions are quiet, not very violent. As a result of successive eruption, one after the other eruption take place. Lava flow usually take place through a vent or multiple vents. That is, there is not just one central vent but multiple vents through which magma comes out. The original land is covered by lava flow, which forms a plateau. As the lava is basaltic, it is fluid in nature, less viscous, it can travel for a long distance, and sides of the land that is formed out of this kind of eruption is not at all steep. Therefore, it forms a plateau. Such plateaus are characterized by cinder cones, volcanic landforms, and lava shield. You will find such things in northern British Columbia in Canada, which is an example of volcanic plateau. Now let us read about intrusive landforms of volcano. Now from the name intrusive, we can understand that this kind of solidification of lava is formed inside the earth's surface. When lava, being highly viscous, highly thick, is unable to reach the surface of the earth, and then it gets solidifies within the surface. It doesn't come out. Rather, it gets solidified within the earth's surface in cracks or fissures. And this is how these intrusive landforms are formed. The first among these intrusive landforms is dikes. These are solidification of magma formed and found in vertical cracks or fractures of pre-existing rock. They are generally hard and resistant to erosion. That means erosion cannot take place easily. They are very hard. Examples are given in New Mexico, Shiprock volcanic plug you can find. In Israel also, Maktesh Rumon dike. These are example of dikes. Now on page 61 of your book, one picture is there. Try to see. The dikes you all have read just now is the vertical cracks or fractures. Now see, these are these things, vertical. So when magma gets solidified inside the earth vertically, then it is called dikes. Now let us read about seals. They are generally horizontal intrusions in between the layers of rocks. So they are horizontal. But due to tectonic movement, there might be rotation of the horizontal seal to vertical orientation. But sometimes Originally maybe they were horizontal layers of rock, but due to tectonic movements they might rotate and get a vertical orientation. They may be thick, for example wind seal and seals within the Karoo Basin. Now again from this picture on page 61 of your book on top, I want to show you how seals are formed. You see, these are horizontal things, not vertical. Dikes are vertical and seals are horizontally formed. Next you have is laccolith or lopolith. Laccolith is a dome-shaped intrusion of magma with a flat bottom. It is dome-shaped. You see the picture? See, this is dome-shaped. Pine Valley Mountain Wilderness in Utah, and lopolith is a saucer-shaped. It's a kind of a dish, saucer-shaped intrusion of magma, and there is a convex base. Like you will find Duluth Gabbro in North Minnesota and Humboldt Lopolith in Nevada. Next on page 61 you have Phacolith. These are lens-shaped magnetic intrusion. They are often found at the crest, at the top of an anticline. You know there are the folds anticline and syncline. You must have come across these terms while reading about fold mountains. There are some folds, anticlines, synclines. So at the crest of any anticline or base of a syncline within the volcano, these phacoliths are formed. You will find such things in Sussex County, New Jersey, and Ome Pluton in Ireland. So in today's class I have explained the extrusive and intrusive landforms of volcano. From page 59 to 61 on top till Phacolith I have covered in today's class, and I would like you all to listen to my explanation and then read the pages of your book thoroughly to understand it well. In next video I will continue with the rest part of the chapter. Thank you for watching.